Good afternoon, student. In today's video of quality engineering unit number 2, quality engineering and management tools, techniques and standards. This is the unit number 2 where we'll see different management tools which are used to control the quality and some techniques as well as some standards used to improve the quality engineering. In the first lecture, we'll cover the various topics like tools and techniques of TQM. TQM means the total quality management, and 7 quality tools, part 1. In this video, we'll cover only 3 quality tools, and remaining 4 tools we'll cover in our next video. So, we continue with us. So, tools and techniques of TQM. The 3 important tools of TQM are employee, product and process. In any organization, for total quality management, the 3 important parameters are employee, product and the process. Employees means those who are working on machines or looking after the production. Product means the product which we are developing or the final product of the industry. And the process means through which the entire production takes place, where man, machine and manpower is utilized. TQM goes through the following 3 phases. The first A is employee development. Continuously there should be development of the employee for the total quality management. Employees should be given various training, various courses, should be given to them, or they should undergo some various trainings or the various skill process to upgrade the employees. Second is product development. Whatever the product we are developing, there should be a continuously improvement or development in it. And the third is process development. Suppose right now we are using the conventional CNC machine, conventional lathe machine. We can develop or improve ourselves by utilizing the CNC machine. So in total quality management, all the 3 parameters should be considered under the development. Now techniques of TQM which are used for the above mentioned development are as follow. First, for employees development, following is used as a skill, that is the communication. We can focus on the communication area of the employee in order to go for the TQM. Training of the employee, as I told you. Involvement. The employee should involve themselves for the total quality management. If an industry is looking for the total quality management, employee should involve himself in that process. If employee does not involve, then it becomes very difficult to obtain the TQM. So the honesty and the involvement of the employee for what the industry is looking for is very important. Quality circle development. Whatever the product we are developing, and for its quality, a particular area or particular circle is developed which will look for the entire quality. So from the raw material to the final product, each and every person should involve himself for the total quality management product. Kaizen. Kaizen is also a kind of quality management tool which is used to improve the total quality of the product or of the employee. Now for product development, following is used, that is QFD, that is customers requirement, quality focused development, then concurrent engineering and customer delight. So these are the parameters from the product point of view which are used under the TQM. For process development, following is used, that is 5S practice. We'll see later on in this video that what is 5S practice. Second is ISO 9000 and TPM, total product management, process management, Six Sigma, JIT and Kanban, reliability and availability and maintainability of the product, Pokayok and 7 quality tools. So these are the total different quality management tools or techniques which are used to develop the process. If you need to develop the process or improve the process under the TQM, then these are the 7 different you can say process development points or the practices that we have to implement. It's not necessary that all these 7 tools are implemented for all the manufacturing process, but particularly depending on your product and depending on your output, the different production or different production development process is being used. Now, what are the 7 quality tools? Let us see the 7 quality tools. First, who discovered this? One of the member of JUICE, Koru Ishikawa, the associate professor at the University of Tokyo, had a desire to democratic quality, that is to say, he want to make quality control comprehensible to all workers, and inspired by Deming's philosophy, he formalized the 7 basic tools of quality control. Now, for the 7 quality tools, Ishikawa, the associate professor at the University of Tokyo, he had a desire that the quality should be comprehensible to all workers. Each and every worker should be a part of the quality control tool. So he developed these 7 basic tools. So let us see. The first one is histogram, and the second is Pareto chart. Third is cause and effect diagram, that is fishbone chart. So in this video we will cover these 3 quality tools out of total 7 for this particular video, and next other 4 will continue in the next video. The fourth one and the fourth one is scatter diagram, and fifth one is flow chart, sixth one is run chart, and seventh one is control chart. So these are the different 7 quality control tools which are used to control the or develop the quality for any manufacturing process or any industry who is willing to improve his quality of the product. He has to go through these 7 quality check tools. You can say quality check, quality control tools. Once again, I'll repeat: histogram, Pareto chart, cause and effect diagram, scatter diagram, flow chart, run chart, and control chart. So let us see first one, that is histogram. What is histogram? Histogram is a frequency chart of measurement used to give a graphical representation of the process. For any particular process, a graphical representation. For example, let us take the example of our result analysis. For the student of 7th semester, they are having different 6 subjects, and depending on their different results subject wise, the bar chart is created. So this is the example of histogram. Histogram defined as a bar graph that shows frequency data. Histogram provides the easiest way to evaluate the distribution of data. Histogram suggests the nature of and possible improvement for physical mechanism at work in process. So here you can see this is the histogram. In the diagram, histogram chart, we can say here the example is given for the sales or depending on January, February, March, April, May, June, July. So for the 7 month, the sales percentage of sales of the product. So in January you can see the sales was 33%, in February the sales was 65%, in March it was 8%, in April it was 12%, in May and June it was 0%, and even in July it was 1%. So this is the histogram. It is a bar chart. Here we can compare it with the, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can use our subjects of 7 semester, and instead of 33, 65, 8, 12, 0, 0 and 1, we can use the obtained percentage of our entire class subject wise. So this is the histogram through which we can keep observation on our daily or monthly or yearly activity in the sales or product manufacturing, anything. Now example of how histogram can be used. Histogram can be used to determine distribution of sales, as I told you earlier. Says for instance a company wanted to measure the revenue of other companies and wanted to compare numbers, or perhaps the company wants to compare number of companies that makes from 0 to 10,000, from 10,000 to 20, from 20 to 30 and so on. So this is how the histogram can be used. Now the second one is Pareto chart. Pareto analysis is very helpful in studying a quality problem as it helps to break down the problem. It is performed by plotting a cumulative frequency of the relative frequency data or even count data in a descending order. Histogram defined as a bar graph that shows frequency data. Now construction of Pareto chart. First, information must be selected based on types or classification of defects that occurs as a result of process. Now for any particular process, let us see the example of various defects. Suppose for particular defect there is a hole defect or line defect or thermal crack. So depending on that, different defects can be identified and can be plotted on the Pareto chart. The data must be collected and classified into category. I told you that if you are collecting the defect, there are a number of defects we can find it out. So either it's a porous defect, or you can say it is a hole defect, or it is a line defect, or it is a thermal crack or something like that. Then a histogram or frequency chart is constructed showing the number of occurrence. The step used in Pareto analysis includes gathering category data, drawing the histogram and concentrating on the tall bars. So here in this, different categories of different defects are collected, and based on that a graph is created. So I'll show you here use of Pareto chart. Pareto chart are used when products are suffering from different defects, but the defects are occurring at a different frequency, or only a few account for most of the defects present, or different defects incur different cost. So here you can see this is the percentage, and here it's a type. So the first bar is of different type, second bar is of different type, third bar is of different type, fourth bar is of different type, fifth bar is of different type, and sixth bar is of different type. How this Pareto chart differs from the histogram. Histogram gives the same, the bar chart, the bar of histogram are for the same product, that is the sales. So sales for January, February, March, or the type is of single type. Here if we convert, suppose here we are having, as I told you, the first one, the section line is shown, that is for the line defect. The second is square, that you can say it is suppose shown for the uh, thermal crack. Third is sphere type of some arrangement, so that is you can say of porous defect. Then the next one like cross woven, you can say if it is for the hole defect. Then the next bar is of some vertical lines, you can say that is for the foreign particles, and so on. So here in Pareto chart, different defects are plotted for the different types of bar chart, and in histogram only the same kind of product is used for the different types of for the different months or different percentage. What we see from this product line may experience a range of defect. The manufacturer could concentrate on reducing the defect which make up a bigger percentage of all the defect, or focusing on eliminating the defect that causes Montessori. So here you can see the graphical representation. In x-axis you can see these are the types of defect, and on vertical axis it is the percentage of defect found. So on x-axis you can see A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I and J are the different types of defect, and in bar chart you can see these are the different types of percentage of defect. So in the graphical representation, the curve shows the addition. For every defect there is addition. Now you can say in A defect there is 31% and B defect is say 30%. So 31 and 30 it becomes 61. So here the cumulative total defects are 100%. It is a defective, but depending on the types of defect, different types of defect, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I and J. These are the different types of defect. So overall, if we cumulatively summarize the defects, then you can see this is the summation of the total defect. Now the third one, that is cause and effect diagram, that is fishbone diagram. Cause and effect diagram of fishbone diagram is also known as Ishikawa diagram or root cause analysis. Construction: a cause and effect diagram. First, clearly identify and define the problem or effect for which the cause must be identified. Place the problem or effect at the right of the head of the diagram. In this fishbone diagram, what is the cause and the effect of the diagram? Suppose, for example, for any problem, what is the cause and what is the effect of that? That is find out by the fishbone diagram. The first one is identify all the broad areas of the problem. That what are the problems which we found in the product. Then write in all the detailed possible causes in each of the broad areas. That for particular problem, what are the different causes? Each cause identified should be looked up for further more specific cause. For example, when we are turning a shaft on the lathe, we are not getting a finished product. So the surface finish is not good. So what are the so the problem is the surface finish is not good. So what are the possible causes for that particular problem? So the first problem, it can be the blunt tool. Second can be the improper tool. Third can be the speed of the cutting, speed of the rotating job. Fourth can be speed of the travel of the tool. So these are the different causes for a particular problem that can be identified by the fishbone diagram. View the diagram and evaluate the main cause. Set goal and take action on the main cause. So this is how the fishbone diagram works out for the quality. Now an example of when a cause and effect diagram can be used. This diagram can be used to detect the problem of incorrect deliveries. When a product team is about to launch a new product, the factors that will affect the final product must be recognized. The fishbone diagram can depict problems before they have a chance to begin. The effect being examined is normally as aspect of product or service quality. As I told you, friend, in effect is the problem, particular problem. Now, cause can be the equipment, cause can be the process, cause can be the person who is operating the process, cause can be the material, cause can be the environment, and cause can be the measurement. So there is a possibility of different possibilities of cause. One problem or cause we are having, the effect. Then what is the possible cause of that? I told you, I have given you the example of the surface finish of the round bar which we are turning on the lathe. अगर हम एक लेथ पे एक राउंड बार को टर्न कर रहे हैं और उस पर सरफेस फिनिश हमको नहीं मिल रहा है, सो इट मीन्स व्हाट इज द पॉसिबल कॉज? इट कैन बी द equipment which we are using, it can be the process how we are doing it, it can be the people or the operator who is operating, unskilled person, it can be the material which we have used, that also can be the problem, the environment in which we are doing the process also it can be, and the measurement which we are taking, the feed or the depth of cut which we are taking, that also can be the problem. So if you see, these are the diagram which is located showing the arrows, it is a kind of fish shaped. So fish bone are arranged in this manner. That's why one of the 7 quality control tool is the fishbone diagram, which looks like the. So it is very simple in this. What is the problem? For that particular problem, what are the total possible causes? So you find out the total possible cause, and when you identified, try to resolve this possible cause, and you will be able to solve or resolve the problem, and you can get the quality product. So thank you very much for watching this video. We'll continue with other 4 remaining quality tools in our next video. Thank you very much.